I got a question. I got stuff for you too. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Cool. I mean, I'm curious about your side of things, man. I'm not in Hollywood. I haven't been in Hollywood like that. Like, I'm a professional gamer. I do things like on a weird level like that, but I'm not in the game. So to me, I don't understand. Like, to me, it seems in a lot of our community, we it appears to be like, if you're part of Hollywood, you're in it. And I know, honestly, like, I do understand, you can be a premiere, you can just show up, you can have connections and have nothing to do about selling out or anything. I get that. But I do also understand, and I've come to know that you get to a certain level of hierarchy, if you will, in Hollywood, and you're starting to be promoted more and more. So I just have a question. How could you get on somewhere like SNL? How can you do a movie like with David Chappelle and not be in the game? That's the part that I don't get.
Okay. First of all, the lead up to SNL was, I started as a stand-up comedian.
Sure.
I control my destination. I'm doing stand-up comedy.
Facts.
The stand-up comedy led to, then you got to get an agent, a manager, all this stuff.
Right. Right.
And I don't know what they are, handlers, whatever you want to call them.
Sure.
But so that led to, I had some shows in the works. Me and Dave Chappelle had a show that they moved us into, where we were going to be on Home Improvement. We were on the show Home Improvement with Tim Allen, and then we were going to spin off, and it was going to be me and Dave Chappelle in this really corny show called Buddies. He's black and I'm white. I'm a computer guy and I talk this. And my mother-in-law is really racist. Hey, Dave, you ate chicken today? Wow.
Right.
Wow. So I got fired from it. Mm-hmm. And this is part of what I was talking about, the spirituality.
Right.
I knew the minute I got that show, I was so captivated by the Hollywood scene, because this is what you want.
Right.
This is what you want to be. There's so-and-so. Oh my God. And then when you come to town and you're the new cat, and I was young, me and Dave were young, and now they're like, you're the kid, you're meeting people you never knew was possible meeting. And I knew right out of the gate, my marriage, we weren't married long, but to me, that was a whole God thing. Everything's a God thing in how I see it.
Good. Awesome. I love that.
Yeah. And I knew I was in serious trouble. And I talked to guys like, God, my marriage is not going to last. Like, I need you somehow. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I need to be saved, and I need you to save our marriage somehow. And I didn't do anything, thank God, but I was there.
Right.
I was right on the clip. I already committed. I'll do a dual life, just like they all do. Oh, this guy's hitting this one and that one and that one, and this one does that. But at home, he has this little, and dude, I think it was a day later, I got fired from the show. And to this day, no one knows. No one really gave an explanation. And I can honestly say, as at that time, people like, your commercials are on the air. Like, you've already filled the episode. What do you like? People will recognize me from the commercials.
Right.
I flew my friends out so we could be there for the debut. And when you're on the cover of Hollywood Reporter, blah, 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 and all of a sudden, boom, pulled out from under you out of nowhere, on my life, as God is my witness, the first thought I had was, wow, thank you. I didn't see it like that. I didn't see that coming, but wow, I was humbled. There was no, hey, I didn't ask to be fired. He's like, you said save your marriage.
Right. Pick one, choose one. Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, I mean,
and then go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
And then once SNL came, I could not believe the stars that would come in. and what the public had no clue. That is the first time I saw where you have the public persona of all your favorite stars. All your oh my god, this one's the greatest, and that one's the greatest, and this one's the great, this one. And then you see behind the curtain,
Right.
and you're like, oh wow, this is nothing how I was brought up. This is not how I grew up. This is not. Whoa, morals are just
Right.
thrown out the window. Everything's thrown out the window so one can get better than the other, and they'll do anything to get better. And then not only that, what I saw was nobody cares because there's a billion people they're gonna put to the forefront to become a star. And I watch it over
Thanks.
and over and I go, oh, I hope this one's going to be all right. They got this one. It's only a matter of time before we see something with this one. And I saw how they become drug addicts and no one cares. Just get the job done. Let us get our money. And we don't care if you kill yourself.
Thanks.
We don't care if you OD.
Thanks.
We don't care. I collected my 10. He collected his 20. He
Yep.
collected
They're
his
pimping the
$1 billion.
industry.
Of,
Yep.
and that was one of the most, I will use the word, and I try not to cry, traumatizing things I ever witnessed in my human existence. It was traumatizing. And that's when I started seeing like, well,
And imagine, Jim, you
who
you started at the age you did. Imagine these people that started in Nickelodeon and in Disney at age 5, 6, 7.
and what I would see, Sasha, is the children that would come into SNL as just extras
Yeah.
and their parents.
What parents? Yeah.
But I see it. Their parents, but even our society makes you think that's that
Thanks.
is where you want to be.
Yep.
And here's my child. I don't care if I'm not around them. I
Thanks.
don't. Sure, take their shirt off.
Yeah.
Put them in a sexy outfit.
Thanks.
Give them whatever drugs they need to learn the lines, so I could be part of this.
Exactly.
I'm now important,
Exactly.
and that was horrifying to witness and just see what my own two eye, the little kid getting groomed and his hair's cut a little, and the little kid talking and speaking a certain way so he can be. It was, bro, it was. So that was, and I gotta say, Dave Chappelle, the Dave Chappelle I knew,
Right.
um he was an incredible mentor and human being to be around. Because when we started filming Half Baked, what I learned more was not the movie and all that. That's nothing. The the long conversations and deep spiritual, who controls the world. Why are agents in the industry called agents?
Right.
And why are they all from a certain descent? Why? And there's nothing wrong. There were just questions like, that is interesting. Why do they all,
Yeah. It's
And
all white male
and
bravado.
correct. And so that is when it really started. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I still struggled with it for years. Like I still kind of, when I finally let go is after probably my the birth of my second child. I was like, I really don't. This is my kids are not gonna be around forever. I'm not gonna be able to be a dad to a younger child forever. You're always a father your whole life.
Thanks.
But that was that was the real eye opener. And
Do you get pressured from handlers or a third party in any shape, way, or form to not say or anything?
no, the only like I've learned to tap dance around YouTube,
Right.
which I really think you should hit many, many, many platforms,
Right.
especially right here. Um, so, and the reason I say that is because they allow it all. They allow it all. They've been great to me, but they're not allowing everything.
No.
They're not going to allow. They're not going to allow. So when I say have I been pressured, not at all. I don't live by anyone's standard. I don't allow anyone to go, "Hey, man, I wouldn't say that." I don't.
Right.
It's just,
And then
who are you?
And then what about David
What?
Chappelle? You say that's not the same person that you used to know. So I mean, do you want to get, I don't, and then what about David
What?
Chappelle? You say that's not the same person that you used to know. So I mean, do you want to get, I don't mind getting into it. Do you think some MK Ultra celebrity playing his role? Do you think there's something deeper there? Do you think it's a clone? Do you, like what, I mean, dude, it's clearly not the same person.
It's. I almost feel like I'll just say this. This is all I know. This is all I know. This is the God's honest truth. This is all I know. I know that Dave, um, that when Dave was visited, and that's up for him to tell that story. And that was my first real, like, what do you mean you were visited? And nobody talks about that. Everyone thinks he just ran away to Africa. And, the man was offered $50 million and he walked
He
away.
came back with seven Netflix series. And he's
I
promoting.
know.
He just had another person on Netflix that I forget his name. Doesn't matter. He just had a new Netflix, and it was sponsored by Dave. That means David Chappelle sponsored the last 3 of these comedians that I've seen on Netflix. So someone who walked away from a deal on Oprah show, which I'm all about all of that, but then comes back and gets all of this. That's a different person.
I can't,
And
I can't,
And then last thing, and then one more thing I want to add from the person that I remember watching. What was that David Chappelle show? And I remember him. I remember honestly an actual quote he said. I'll paraphrase is that, and he was joking like he always does. And this one he was skinny David, and he was saying that the government from the same government that engineered crack and HIV. This is David Chappelle who was saying that how long ago? That was probably, God, 15, 16, 17 years ago. Maybe even, I don't know. Maybe longer to the person that he is now. That's why I ask, man. That's the part of, that was the part that made me weary to go on here. Like, I don't trust nobody at no time because I know what Hollywood has done. I know what they do. And it's everything you're confirming, and that's the reason why I've been blackballed and shadow banned and censored the way that I am is because I don't know. You must know Tupac. I'm just like him. I got a big voice. I got a loud mouth, and I don't care. You can kill me right now. You can say, look, you can't see your kids ever again. I'm going to kill you if you talk. I'm going to talk.
No, I don't know Tupac. Oh shit.
You know of
He
Tupac.
was on. Of course I do.
That's what
I
I meant.
met him on
That's what I
SNL.
meant. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. With the Dave thing, I'd be a blatant liar if I were to say 100% that's him.
Okay. Perfect.
Because our communication ended. And when I say he stopped communicating with me at a when he came back. When I say came back, I'm not talking about from Africa because the first thing he did was go on Oprah, which I find fascinating. And I highly suggest people really watch that interview intently. And I sobbed. I fucking sobbed because I hope it's him. But I will say when he came back bigger,
Yep.
and I thought, all right, maybe he did steroids, maybe he worked out like crazy. I know he was very self-conscious being skinny his whole life. And and our communication ended. Now, I had a bizarre FaceTime thing, which again, I think is very sketch. Even the person that, I there was this, I'll just leave it this. I don't know.
Check out the Breuniverse every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. If you can't wait till then, sign up for Patreon and get it 2 days early, along with other exclusive content.